If you really want to transform your marketing, you have to know who you're talking to, right? Well, that's exactly where customer segmentation comes in. And today, we're going to break down the 4 essential types that you absolutely need to know.
So, let me ask you this. Does your marketing ever feel like you're just shouting into a void? You spend all this time, all this money, but the message, it just doesn't seem to land. This is such a classic sign of a disconnected strategy.
I mean, this quote just puts it perfectly. Selling winter coats in sunny California, it sounds totally absurd, right? But honestly, that's pretty much what happens when you don't target your audience. It's this fundamental mismatch that just wastes time, money, and a whole lot of effort.
The solution to this is customer segmentation. And the idea is actually really simple, but it is so powerful. You stop talking to a giant, faceless crowd, and you start speaking to individuals. By dividing your customers into these smaller groups based on things they have in common, you can tailor a message that really, truly resonates.
And the payoff for doing this? Oh, it's huge. We're talking a better return on your investment, way happier customers, fierce brand loyalty, and much higher retention rates. So to put it simply, segmentation isn't just some marketing theory, it's a direct path to getting better business results.
So, how do we actually do it? Well, we're going to use 4 distinct lenses to see our customers way more clearly. And the first lens, it asks the most fundamental question of all.
And that first lens is demographic segmentation. Think of this as the absolute foundation. It's all about the who, the objective statistical data that paints that first picture of your customer.
These variables are the basic building blocks. Stuff like age, gender, income, location. They might seem kind of basic, but they are so powerful. For instance, a fitness apparel brand can immediately focus its efforts by targeting, say, women who are 25 to 35 and live in urban areas. This is your essential first layer.
Okay, let's move to our second lens and see how this all builds. We've covered who they are, so now let's ask, what do they do? This is behavioral segmentation, and it shifts our focus from their identity to their actions, specifically how your customers are interacting with your brand.
Are they buying all the time, or was it just a one-time thing? Are they super loyal to your brand, or are they always just chasing the next deal? An e-commerce store could use this to separate the bargain hunters from the premium buyers and then send each group a totally different kind of offer. See, you're marketing based on their actual behavior.
Okay, so we know who they are and we know what they do. But to really, truly connect with them, we've got to go deeper. We need to ask, what do they think? This brings us to our third lens, psychographic segmentation. This is where we move beyond just the data and we get into the why. This is about connecting with people on a much more emotional level by understanding what's going on in their inner world. So this lens looks at their interests, their hobbies, their core values, their whole lifestyle. For example, an eco-friendly skincare brand wouldn't just target women aged 25-35, they would target women who really value sustainability. That shared belief creates a much, much stronger bond than demographics ever could alone.
And finally, our fourth lens brings us back to a really practical question, but one that is still incredibly important.
And our final lens is geographic segmentation. Now, this might seem like the most obvious one of the bunch, but it's absolutely crucial. It's all about dividing your market based on where they physically are in the world.
This could be as broad as an entire country or as specific as a single zip code. It also includes factors like climate. A surfboard company, for example, is going to focus its marketing on coastal cities, not landlocked ones. It's just common sense, but it's a critical piece of the whole puzzle.
So we have our 4 lenses: demographic, behavioral, psychographic, and geographic. But here's the secret. They are most powerful when you use them together. The real magic happens when you start layering these insights to create a truly 3-dimensional picture of your customer.
Look at how this works in practice. We take data from all 4 of those lenses: demographics, like his age, geography, like his New York location, and behaviors, like shopping during sales. All of a sudden, John Doe transforms from just a collection of data points into a real person. And now you know how to talk to him, what to offer him, and when.
The source material for this actually calls this process tiger-focused targeting. And I love that name because it perfectly describes the goal, right? To get a sharp, precise, and powerful lock on your ideal customer.
So if you remember just one thing from all this, it's these 4 lenses: demographic, who they are; behavioral, what they do; psychographic, why they do it; and geographic, where they are.
Mastering this combination is really the key to truly understanding your audience.
So we'll leave you with this thought. You now have the framework to stop shouting into the void and actually start having a real conversation. The question isn't just if you'll use these lenses, but what will you discover about your customers when you finally look through them?